This is Classic FM from Global.
Hello everyone, Dan here from the Diamond Minecart, and you're listening to an extra special Valentine's Day edition of Next Level.
Next Level with DanTDM.
The Classic FM Hall of Fame is back. It's the biggest classical music chart in the world, and it's completely shaped by you. Pick your favourites on Global Player or at classicfm.com.
Manaka Katalka there with the main theme from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Had to play a little something to mark the 40th anniversary of the entire franchise this month. And before that, we heard Shichibi no Tasagarai from Silent Hill F. That was composed by Dai and sung by the choirs of the Sound Forest. Welcome to Next Level with me, DanTDM, here on Classic FM. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Tonight's show is a little bit different, but I know you'll enjoy it as much as me. I am calling it Games We All Know and Love. So, in honor of Valentine's Day, I thought we'd have an hour of soundtracks from the most popular and loved games of all time. We've got Halo, Assassin's Creed, and Minecraft, and they're just a few of the scores that you can expect after Alloy's theme from Horizon Zero Dawn. That was Alloy's theme from Horizon Zero Dawn here on Classic FM, where Zanarkand from Final Fantasy X is up next.
Classic FM.
That was Stephanie Economou's theme from the game Assassin's Creed Valhalla. L'Orchestra Cinematique performed that for us. And before that, it was the Royal Stockholm Philharmonic Orchestra with Xanakand from Final Fantasy X. Nobuo Uematsu composed it. Right, let's have a listen to this week's piece of classical music used in a video game, which was recommended to me by Meg, who lives over in Bedfordshire. It comes from the 2001 PlayStation 2 game Monsters, Inc. The game was based on the films and let you play as Sully on his mission to find and save Boo. You've got to explore the factory, Monstropolis, and even had the ability to use Sully's tail to take on enemies. I mean, if that doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will. So let's hear the main theme here on Classic FM right now.
Next Level with DanTDM
on Classic FM.
First up, for our piece of classical music used in a video game, we heard the main theme from Monsters, Inc. Thanks again to Meg in Bedfordshire for the recommendation. And then we follow that up with a track from Halo Reach called Ghosts and Glass. This is Next Level with DanTDM on Classic FM, where tonight we're celebrating Valentine's Day with music from video games that we all know and love. So let's carry that on now with something from Hyrule Warriors. That was the champion Mifa from Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity here on Classic FM, and that was written by Kumi Tanioka. We've been hearing from some of our favourite games of all time tonight here on Classic FM with me, DanTDM. And next up, it's time for our next level new release. It's from the game My Hero Academia All's Justice, which was just released towards the end of last week. If you're a fan of the series, you'll know that this game is My Hero Academia's final story arc. So I thought that we'd hear a nice and sentimental track to mark it. This is Through the Tears. That was Through the Tears from My Hero Academia All's Justice. A group of studio musicians performed that for us. And I'll have another new release for us to enjoy at the same time next weekend. But when it comes to tonight's show, though, there's still lots for us to enjoy, like Red Dead Redemption, Batman, and of course, Super Mario. So stick around for all that and more on Classic FM after this.
Classic FM.
Hey Sainsbury's, have you got anything to help my money go further?
Well, if you want to make some big savings, make sure to use Nectar Prices and your Nectar Prices at Sainsbury's. Together, they can save you over £450 a year on your food shop.
Bring it on.
Download the Nectar app and tap into great savings. Sainsbury's. Good food for all of us. 18 plus Nectar app required. For full terms, see help.sainsburys.co.uk/help/Nectar prices.
What's life insurance all about? Helping protect your loved one's financial future if you weren't around. From baby bottles to graduation bubbles and first love to first home. Looking for life cover from an insurer trusted by millions? We've got you covered. Plus, apply by 27th of February 2026 and get a gift card worth between £50 and £200 based on premiums paid. Eligible after 6 monthly payments. Search Aviva Life Insurance to find out more. It takes Aviva. T's and C's apply.
Spire Healthcare gave me my life back.
The care I received was incredible.
Every year, over 1 million patients trust Spire Healthcare. See a leading medical expert privately in as little as 48 hours and get back to what you love sooner.
Spire Healthcare have given me a whole new lease of life.
And now I feel unbreakable again.
The sooner you're better, the better. Search Spire Healthcare today.
Tesco Finest Alderwood Smoked Bacon, the foundation for the ultimate bacon butty. It's why only the finest bacon is traditionally hand-cured with Cornish sea salt, delicately smoked over alderwood and matured for at least 19 days. Layer it between slices of crusty bread and savour its richer flavour. All you have to think about is brown sauce or red. Make your everyday taste better with Tesco Finest. Majority of larger stores.
Listeners, we interrupt the airwaves to share an incredible discovery. The reason why Britain hasn't been so great of late is because the country hasn't been eating enough Weetabix. We must get to work in rebuilding Great Britain, Bix by Bix. By delivering Weetabix to whoever plans the traffic diversions, to delivery drivers who can't seem to find your house,
and people who don't stack the dishwasher properly.
To Britain, we must say, have you had your Weetabix?
With LV, I can get my home insurance from just £133. They've made it easy for me to get a great price. And their 24/7 emergency helpline lets me look after what matters to me. Because insurance is simple when it's me and LV.
No wonder we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. Get your quote today at lv.com. 10% of new customers paid £133 or less July to December 2025. LV General Insurance is part of Allianz.
Next Level with DanTDM.
On Classic FM.
From Nick Arundel's music for Batman Arkham Knight, that was a track called Evening the Odds, which we heard thanks to a studio orchestra. Now, Connor from Hastings has emailed me through classicfm.com to request some music, and you can too anytime you feel like it. He's asked if I could play something for him and his dog Arthur, who's named after a character in the game. I can't believe I've never thought of doing that before. Maybe if you get a second, you can call your next one Steve for me. Especially for you both, here's the theme from Red Dead.
Next Level with DanTDM.
On Classic FM.
That was Koji Kondo with a piece called Super Mario World, which we heard performed by Video Games Live. And before that, we enjoyed the main theme from Red Dead Redemption. Mylene Class will be with you soon for a special show celebrating her 20-year anniversary of presenting on Classic FM. She'll be keeping things nice and relaxed over the next few hours. So to get you into the headspace, let's have the theme from Minecraft Earth to finish. That was Shawnee Jang and the main theme from Minecraft Earth here on Classic FM, where you've been with DanTDM over the past hour or so. Thank you for keeping me company and for all of your messages along the way. I'll see you next Saturday night from 9 for more great game music, but it's Mylene and your Calm Classics that are on the way next.
Classic FM.
With over 50 years' experience, at Fidelity, we believe there's a difference between investing and being invested. Investing is having access to guidance, tools, and expert insights. Being invested means feeling confident about your future. Investing is choosing from a wealth of investment options. Being invested means focusing on your long-term goals. For ISAs, pensions, or advice, be truly invested with Fidelity. Go to fidelity.co.uk. Your capital is at risk. Terms apply.
Fine & Country values the unique, the distinctive, the iconic. The features that make your home a true reflection of you. Grand, inviting spaces that inspire spontaneous get-togethers. Quiet, cozy corners that provide a calming daily retreat. Truly captivating vistas that make your everyday extraordinary. If you're looking to buy, sell, or let your home, start your property journey at fineandcountry.com. Fine & Country. Dare to be iconic.
You're actually quite funny. Sorry, not quite funny. Very funny. I'm surprised at how much I just laugh. Not that I'm surprised that you're funny.
When words fail, there's our #1 Valentine's dine-in for £25, with options including succulent scallops and king prawns with roasted garlic butter, tender sirloin with triple cooked fries, and creamy ruby and raspberry mousse, all from our #1 range, plus a crisp bottle of Prosecco. Waitrose, the home of food lovers. Selected lines and stores subject to availability. Offer ends 15th of Feb. Please drink responsibly. Non-alcoholic drinks also available.
I'm literally crying. Same, but my bladder can't take these laughs. I may have to leave.
Wait, try one of my always discreet maximum protection pants. Total game changer when the floodgates open up.
Seriously?
It gives me complete peace of mind, even for my heaviest bladder leak surprises. Go try one on.
Fair play. And now I can stay until the last gag.
Try Always Discreet's new maximum protection pants for heavy bladder leaks.
Encore! Because you like spotting yellow cars before your kids do. Because you like to read the score on the screen, especially when you're winning. Because there's a Boots Opticians about 2 minutes from work. Because we have clinical experts and all the latest tech. Because your eyes deserve our ultimate eye test. Because we'll help you find your perfect style. Because of all these things, there's only one choice. Boots Opticians. See what's possible.
Idle money chills in your current account, parked in front of the telly, wanting a snack, yet too lazy to move. But thanks to Monzo, busy money got up early, automatically split your paycheck into pots, rounded up your purchases into savings, invested your interest into ISAs. Oh, and has already written itself a to-do list for tomorrow. Monzo, the bank that gets your money moving.
UK residents aged 18 plus, Monzo personal account required, capital at risk, T's and C's and fees may apply.
Hearty bacon rolls and milky morning brews, fresh summer salads, a barbecued burger or two, big birthday bakes, crumbly fruit puds, and family Sunday dinners with Grandad's famous roast spuds. For over 25 years, Red Tractor's been working with British farmers to help ensure the safety of your family's food. So for life's big moments, little moments, and everything in between, when you shop, just look for the Red Tractor logo.
Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and come on in to Classic FM Calm. Our soothing sister station. Find peace in the music. Ask your smart speaker to play Classic FM Calm.
Classic FM.